Hi, my lovely ones. Welcome to She Works in Faith podcast with me, your host, Yvonne Upoku, where we have open, authentic, and honest conversations. Today, once again, I have my lovely co-host, Sarah,
Hiya.
with me. And I want us to pick up a bit from where we left off the last time. We talked about, the the stress or the pressure that comes upon young people when they reach the age where society feel that they are ready to get married. And I think we touched on something, and I want us to dive in a bit more. And that was, warning signs. We talked about how, some people ignore their warning signs, and then after a few years or 20 years or whatever, they realize that, they shouldn't have ignored those warning signs. And so I want us to dive in a bit more to give our young people out there what are the things that could be a warning signs or they should look out for in order to, help them in their decision making in terms of partners. Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. So what are some of the warning signs that you have noticed? It doesn't necessarily have to be from you, but I mean, you have friends in relationship and stuff, and also parents, your parents, what are some of the warning signs that you feel that they ignore or they have even confessed that they ignore and then now it's becoming or it has become problematic for them?
I think I'd say to generalize it, one of the things also from friends and family is that every little, every little flag that you ignore will eventually become a bigger flag in the end. And one of the things I know from, family members and stuff like that is, one of the things I can mention today is say low effort men. Obviously, that's like a Gen Z word. But when we say low effort men, it's literally a man that does not or a woman actually, that does not necessarily, they're just very low effort. And not that they can't do more, it's just they're not willing to do more because they know that you would eventually do it. And that's something I saw with my mom a lot, that my mom is someone, she doesn't know how to sit down. She just, every day she wants to be doing things. And eventually, also in a relationship, it's shown that she ended up doing a lot. Because for her, it's always that because it doesn't, if I don't do it, it doesn't get done. But I feel like in the bigger, like in the long run, this just ends up being a thing where eventually people would just stop doing things because they know you would do it anyway. And like there's this word, there's this saying, you call it weaponized incompetence, where it's like they weaponize their incompetence. Not that they're not competent to do it, but because they know that if they act as if they don't know how to do it, that eventually their spouse or their partner would eventually do it. And I think that can become very frustrating, and it's also a manipulation tool that is used against, like it's a way of deceiving a person or your partner into thinking that you can't do certain things when you're actually very capable of doing it. It's just you don't care enough to do it in a relationship. So that's one thing.
With that, I think I used to see it a lot with women, that women used to do it a lot. But it's just
Yes.
lately, I think the Gen Z, I don't know, I've been seeing men, using that
So
weaponizing competent sort of behavior to get their ladies to do what they don't want to. Like with women, I know that, we can open the jar, but we just,
I think with women, it's more like to strike the egos of men.
yeah.
Obviously, it doesn't justify it, but I feel like if it's really in a way of you, I think what matters really is the motive behind it. If it's really like, oh, you know what, I want you to feel good about yourself, so go ahead. So I'm gonna just get the jar, open the jar for me. But if it's more like, oh, I'm not going to do it because I know if I don't do it, you end up doing it. I think it's really what the mindset, the motive is behind it. I mean, guaranteed women do that a lot, actually. But it's really, again, relationship is really 100 and 100. Sometimes the person might be 80, you might be on a 20. Eventually, it's just that you make it work, how best it works for you.
I think I've seen it with men, as you just said, with women. Mostly, it's just for the men to feel good about themselves. But yeah, they use it also negatively. But what I've noticed with the men is that they use it to get out of house chores.
Yeah.
Like I think there was this video that I was looking at where the house was messy and then both of them get up to clean up the place, and the man was 30 minutes, he was still standing at that one place trying to figure out, pretending to figure out how to fold just what was it, it was a bed sheet or something,
Yeah.
just trying to figure out, he would fold it and then open it, and it was so frustrating for me to even watch it. And
Yeah.
I can imagine how much the woman felt.
Yeah.
I mean, that 30 minutes, she has cleaned up all the place and he was still on that same, cover.
The thing is, I think with women is very, it's something, I'm careful to say dangerous to notice, but eventually women like this will start to raise their sons like that. In terms of they don't let their children do.
Yeah.
I understand that obviously you have a certain expectation of your child, but it gets to a certain point where they have to learn to make the mistakes so that they will learn from it. Now, this is how my mom used to do things, where like, obviously I'm not going to mention which brother, but I have like a couple of brothers and cousins, and they used to do things that just at their age should think that, why can't you do that? And my mom is always like, oh, you can't do it, let me just do it. So one of my brothers, at the age of, I don't even know what age it was, but it was the age where you should be able to fry eggs. Instead of oil, he used vinegar.
Okay.
And then we had another scenario where his phone fell into the water. Again, usually, what do you do when the phone falls into water? You put it into rice.
Into rice, yeah.
He put it in the oven.
To do what?
To dry it.
Well,
it's stuff like this. Like, I don't know, but I believe it's a thing where, I mean, I have many questions. I have many questions, but I'm just thinking, it's either it's because my mom does everything for him or something went wrong at the birth. Because I'm trying to make sense of a lot of things, But it's literally stuff like this, and I'm starting to think that no, this is weaponizing. This is purpose. He does this like he does this on purpose. This is not. No. You're not. No. And my mom is always like, oh, let me just do it because I know you're gonna mess it up. And I feel like this just enables you to just do more stupid stuff. Yeah. So I feel like, and I have even cousins like that. They do also crazy things, and I always kept telling my mom that it's because you keep doing things for my siblings and for my cousins, and that's why they come up with stupid stuff like this.
But I understand your mom's frustration, and I think a lot of women or a lot of mothers will understand it. Sometimes it's just that, because we are constantly under stress to get things done, to get the food ready, to do this and do that, we have a lot of things to do. And sometimes to get the children to help, it's like, okay, it will take too long. Let me just do it because I don't really have the time. Or they come and do it. I know what I was struggling with when my children were younger. Things were a lot to do. And then sometimes, in your kitchen, they want to come and help you. They want to, bake with you and that. And I realized that I did not have the patience for that because it was taking too long. Or they would come and then they will knock something, it's not intentional, but then I would get
I'm so sorry.
and so
I
angry.
understand, like, I mean, one of the cases I had, like my mom told me about, like one of my siblings, one of the things that they did was, again, I think this is now deliberate, like she gave my sibling a cream and told my sibling that, okay, cream my back for me. That's logical, right? You get the cream, put it on your hand, and cream her back for him. So mind you, she's now turned to my sibling, and she's waiting for her back to be creamed. She looks back, the sibling is creaming himself. It's stuff like it's like, are you serious?
Yeah, I get you.
And I understand the frustration of mothers, but some things just don't make sense. And I think and she gets even more frustrated. But for me, it's a thing where, because you keep doing these things for them, some of them are inexplainable, to be very honest. But this is how they grow up and be in, let's say, relationships. And they do the exact same thing because they know that, it's just a matter of you're going to be so frustrated enough that you end up doing it. Yeah. But that's not the
the goal of it.
That's not the goal of it.
I know. I realized I was getting more frustrated and all that, and then things were getting a lot. But then one day, I think it was one of their teachers, and said that, I know frustration is frustrating, but you need to take your time. Otherwise, they won't learn.
They won't.
And actually, what you're doing is that once you allow them to do things and they become better at it, they become a source of help to you. You can give them some of the stuff to do, and you can concentrate on other stuff.
Absolutely.
So that's what I sat down and I was like, okay. And then I started trying it. And now there are some stuff I don't have stress. I don't do them anymore because I've assigned it to them.
It's the exact same thing with my sibling. Like my mom, he's so forward thinking now. To say things you don't have, he just puts two together. But I just had to keep telling her that you're going to continue to do this, and I'm telling you, they're not, they would just deliberately act as if they're very dumb, but they're actually not. Mm. But it's now, when she really stopped, my mom doesn't do nothing. She's sorted. Mm. She doesn't have to care about nothing in this world, and she's sorted. But I feel like this is what mothers do in relationship. Mm-hmm. And then maybe they get so frustrated. Eventually, in this relationship, you can leave, but your child can't leave, right? And I feel like some of these men, they grew up with that. Mm-hmm. And it's also how, African moms really the way they raise their sons.
Yeah,
it's different from how they raise their daughters. With the daughters, the expectation of you should be able to do everything. Mm-hmm. With the sons, my mom used to always say, oh, when you marry, your wife will do it. I said, huh? Excuse me? In this 2026, in this day and age, people will not do that, right? It's the same way a woman goes to work, so does a husband go to work. Mm-hmm. They won't be doing that. So I told her that it's crazy. Me at the age of 7 or 8, I'm saying my mom that said, I don't like the way you raise my sibling. Yeah. And she was like, what do you know? I said, no, because let's be very honest, this is not going to help in the long run. And she's changed her strategy. And now, fantastic human being.
So that's good. So then that means that they have to observe how their partners are at home as well.
Yeah.
The way they carry themselves. Like when you go to your partner's family home, when the table is being set, what are they doing? To observe these things and see how they carry themselves in those environments as well, because it might be 100% what they would do once you guys are together or married, right? So, okay. And what other warning signs you would suggest?
I'd say love bombing.
Love bombing.
Oh my God. Love bombing is just, there was this video I was watching of this guy, and he always does this TikTok. He said that if I was a narcissist, this is what I would do. Mm-hmm. And he says that I will love bomb you so much so that you become so attached to me and depend on me, and then I will just start to reject you.
But that's what he did.
So that you start to crave me, you start to crave for me. And I was like, so this is a deliberate thing. One of the things that one of my uncles said is that one thing you need to know, the difference between men and women, is the fact that men test you from the get-go. Men don't play games. As much as we might think that men are dumb, they won't clock it. Men are testing from the get-go. Mm. It's women when we think that, could this be a thing? After we've spoken to the guy for 6 months, or maybe now I should start testing him. No, you've already fallen in love. Men test from the get-go. Mm. And one of the things, my brother would tell you, one of the things that men test is boundaries. He said that when a woman comes with all her boundaries, the first thing is, I want to see where she will compromise. Yeah, and that's not true. My brother per saying that I'm actively trying to make you bend your boundaries, but I'm trying to see if you really stick to what you say. So he said that all men do that. My dad does this as well.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be like, because obviously we women, we have a certain image we want to portray on the first day, I don't know. And then we say, oh, you know what? I don't speak to a guy after 10 p.m., for example. My brother would text you exactly at 10 and see whether you would respond. Maybe the first time you want, second time you want, maybe on the third time he would not even call you.
Yeah.
He just want to see how much will it take for you to start to bend your rules. And this is when he will know that if you're a person of your word or not. So men test from the get-go. Women don't.
But I think that's the same. That's what they use to know how they can also wrap you around their fingers.
Yeah.
Because then when they start manipulating you, they know exactly what boundaries to cross.
Yes.
Or how to frame the sentence, or what
Yeah.
to do, or how to portray themselves for you to
Exactly how you would
give
accept
in,
them. Exactly.
to whatever they are trying to
Yeah.
get at, right?
Yeah. This is something, like, one thing I must say I'm very grateful for is having grown up with a lot of men around me, in like my dad, my brothers, my cousins and stuff like that. I learned a lot. They made me literally think like a man. They were like, no, you have to actually think like, if you think like a man, you're going to be doomed. And I learned this. I was like, is this really a thing? And then they were like, yes, all of us do it. One day, the first thing we'll do is see let's see how far you would go.
Yeah. And I
And
think
it's not that they're trying to be wicked or they're manipulators. But for them, that's how men test. Men test from the get-go.
that's why I keep saying to the ladies, even the man is also applicable to them, but I keep saying to the ladies that, if you can do something till the day you die, don't
do
even
it.
start it.
Don't do
Because
it.
one thing they also don't like
It's
is
change.
change.
They hate
right?
change.
So if you can't, like with the man, if you can't open her door to eternity comes, then don't do it. But men are very petty when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Because once you change something, they will use it as an accusation.
Yeah.
In let's say counseling.
Yes.
Or in a dispute, they will use that against you.
Absolutely.
They will tell you that, I'm used to this and now it's changing, she's not doing that, she's becoming this, she's becoming that. But it's not that. It's because you have portrayed something, or you have made him understand that this is how you operate or how you are.
Yeah.
So once there is a slight change, it becomes a problem for them, a major problem.
Yeah.
So don't start anything you can't do for eternity to come.
Yeah.
Right? And that will save you unnecessary stuff. They will know from beginning, this is how I am, this is how I operate. And then they have the decision
like it or not.
to choose whether they want it or not.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I think that's that. And then the other thing I would say, you started with narcissists. And I think one of the thing also, as you said, they start observing you, right?
Yeah.
So the other thing is what they do is that, once they've met someone and they know that, they are observing and testing your boundaries, one of the things that they would do is that, they will try to try and they will see how do I put it? Can I say the protective shield around you,
Yeah.
which are people,
Yeah.
the people around
And
you,
they
or the
will
people in your
isolate
life
you, yeah.
that are, solid foundation,
Yes.
protection shield for you,
Yeah.
you're right. They will start to try isolate you
Yeah.
from them. One of the ways they would do it, they will start, maybe they will make it about, the way I feel. I don't think they really like me. And,
I
they
feel
look at me
uncomfortable. I
weird.
don't
I feel
think they really mean
comfortable.
good for you.
Yeah.
They don't want us to be happy.
But before they go to that, they will make it about themselves. Right?
Absolutely.
Because it's your man or your
And you're
woman.
trying to justify them. Oh, baby, they love you.
No. And then some coincidence or whatever happens, I told you they don't, but it might not have anything to do with
Yeah.
them, And then they will start, creating the story from there,
Yeah.
start building it from there. And then
Yeah.
from them, they start, as you said, pointing out, they are not good for you, they don't want this for you, blah, 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 blah. But until they came, you were doing fine. You were prospering. That's what they saw and they wanted.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden,
They want
the
to strip
people
you
that
off
have
of
laid all this
everything.
foundation, you want to tell me that they are no good. Why is she not dead or destroyed by now? You get what I mean? But because we are so in love and we want it to work and we want them to be accepted by their family around them and so on. And so when, the foundation of your security can already sense that, I don't think, and then you try and voice it out, and then they will come and say, I told you they don't like me. And all that, all these things. And then by the time, if you don't pay careful attention and observe what is going on, by the time you realize I separated you from,
Yeah,
but they
fam.
will start with the same way they do with the boundary. They start with among the people that shows you, or that lays the foundation, which one is weak, and they'll start, taking
Yeah.
it from there till they get to the one that holds the whole pillar together, right? Or they'll aim at that one the heaviest,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And once they've gotten that person, they know that everything around you will crumble,
Yeah.
right? And by the time you realize you are isolated, all your friends are not around, your family, blah, blah, blah. And then they start showing their true colors.
Yeah. And the thing is, one of the videos I watched, he was like, one of the things also what I would do is make you hyper dependent on me, meaning that, let's say for example, you put on a dress and then you would tell me, "Oh, honey, I love this dress. How do you like it?" He said that I would intentionally tell you that go and change it to see if you would change it. And it's really small things that build up to become bigger things. And then he said that, and I will see whether you change it or not. When I see you change it, that means that my opinion matter, and you're ready to do everything I tell you to do. This is how even some narcissists can lure women into sleep, like Christian women into sleeping with them before marriage, with stuff like, "If you love me, you would do this for me." It didn't start there. It's been started with the little things. It's been started with, "Oh, I don't like it when you wear these red shoes. Don't ever wear it when I'm around." And you all of a sudden do it. I mean, before he came, were the red shoes on there? Okay, clearly they were there. So because they were there, that means clearly something is wrong. And I feel like what women have to become more alert or pay more attention to is the fact that never let a person or a man at this point strip you off of the things that were already there when he came, because these are the exact same thing he will use against you, that because of these things he doesn't love you anymore.
And don't let us not mistake it with constructive
Criticism,
criticism.
of
That's
course.
different. You need to analyze everything.
Of course.
But when you see that, the criticism is chipping at your personality, your identity.
Yes.
You need to start paying careful attention.
Very careful attention.
And all of a sudden you realize that your whole style have changed. I mean, there's nothing wrong saying, "Oh, these shoes, I don't think it much." But by the time you realize it's changing the way your style.
Look, yes. And it's always and that's also another thing. Though I mean, it's a borderline between narcissist and insecurity. Oh, to be honest, all narcissists are insecure, but like with an insecure man specifically, he always has something bad to say about you. He never has something positive to say. Like, he will always find something negative to say. And I've seen this in relationships where women are very confident. Women are very, out there. Not out, when I say out there, like very popular, sociable, and all of that. And they have, like, maybe, let's say, a spouse or a partner that is more like towards the background. He's not really noticeable and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them can really handle women like that, but there's some of them, it's like, "Oh, I'm going to have to dim your light. I'm going to make you feel insecure about you." You can literally say that, "Oh, did you see how many people have celebrated me, show up to my book lounge," or something like that. And he'll be like, "Oh, so you think you're a star?" Men like this. Ha.
Yeah.
Men
Every
like
opportunity
this.
they get.
They are just haters at this point in time. They just never find something positive to say. And it's small things, but it becomes very consistent. Also, you think you're this now. "Oh, sorry, can we still speak to you?" It's this like I don't know.
Or you did not pay
this
attention to me.
indirect thing that this. Also, now we can't talk to you anymore. Also, now because you're. Oh no. But like this, God. No.
And then you have the self-centered ones, right?
Yeah.
Where regardless of what is going on or what you're talking about, it will circle around and it become about them.
Oh yeah.
Even if you are the one being celebrated, they will make it about them. Something will not be working, and so all the attention will have to go on them.
I think this is a disease, It must be a mental health issue. Because there was this guy, people, I could say, "Oh, I've been hospitalized for the past 3 weeks. I'm not," but he would say that I have died. "Oh, as for me, I have died and resurrected from the dead." Like, it's every, like, they would just find a way to make you think that theirs was always worse. Or theirs was always better. Theirs was always worse. As for me, you can tell them, for example, oh, I failed my exams today. I'm not well, or because of one exam, I failed the whole. They'll just always make it about themselves, whether it's good or bad. As for them, it's always worse. As for them, it's always better. It's just, I don't know. It's a mental health issue. I don't know. You can even tell them that, oh, I'm having pneumonia, I don't know, and they'll be like, oh, me, as for me, I have lung cancer. They will just find a way to always make it worse for them. It's a mental health issue. Because what's the problem?
They have to be in the center of
You can
everything.
literally, it can never be like, they always will find a way to make it about themselves.
Even when it's just a conversation among people.
Yeah.
Even if they don't, one thing, if they don't even bring it to themselves, they will have to say something.
Yes.
Or they have to be the loudest.
Yeah.
Something. They always have to get their attention. Like,
even if it makes no sense, they will just find a way to just add something.
Yeah.
It's very bad.
And the other thing that I was thinking about is, the financial aspect of things, where whether the man or the woman would just, oh, one day, oh, I forgot my purse. And then, oh, babe, can't you pay? Oh, I'm short of this. And that is always something about the finance, right? There's always something why they can't pay, or they are short with something, or, I don't know. And then with time, you find yourself being the one to pay. And then some women just get used to it, or they get annoyed. So they don't even wait for the excuse to come. They just, and then they pay. Right. And I think that is also something that is, if you don't pay attention to it, it becomes enormous. By the time you realize, some of them is even to the extent that then they don't work. They'll get married and all of a sudden they have a reason, 250 reasons why they can't go and work. Oh my this and my
that's
that
so
and
funny.
that. And then they will get the woman or the man, whoever it is. But mostly, since we are talking more from the aspect of women, that's where we are more experiencing anyway. But, he has all sorts of reasons why they can't go to work. Or they go to work and then they'll come back, I've been sacked. And then this and that. And then this and that. And then the woman will be the one going out working 3 or 4 jobs to come and take care. By the time you realize he's using the money for
Other
a
stuff.
mistress or building their own empire, and you are amount to nothing.
It's
and they
crazy.
won't take care of the house too.
It's crazy. I have so many stories of such. And I feel like it's also because I was working in the debt enforcement department. I have so much experience, not like experience per se with myself, but like I've been a witness of so many cases of where it got to the extent where the husbands were indebting their wives. And they were so unknowledgeable about it. Like they didn't know about it.
Because they don't open letters.
And it's like, if you already know that your husband has such traits, why would you hand him over the finance? Women, ladies, you can give your husband the responsibility of the finance, but also make sure you are informed about what goes on with your money. Then you have husbands that sign up for contracts and stuff like that. They can't, in the name of the wife, by the way. And they don't know, they don't pay for anything at all. And the wife, of course, she doesn't open letters, she doesn't know what's happening. And in the long run now, she wants to get an extract, a debt extract. And then she sees that, oh, she's indebted for over 50,000, and she was clueless about it. One of the cases we had was a woman. She just changed her job, but she got promoted in a managing position. So obviously, if you're going to be in a managing position, most of the times they want to see your criminal records and your debt extract to see if you're really if that you're not in debt or anything. Obviously, she came with confidence, and then she came with confidence. Oh, I want to get my debt extracted. Da, 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 da. And then my colleague was like, you have debts for over 70K. Oh, she said, what? I have never had anything to do with you people. Da, 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 da. She said, your husband even came last week to collect one of these letters to for you to pay one of the one of the debtors has brought you the case here. So he's got the information letter in regards to that. Yeah. And she was and this was a period over like 4 or 5 years. She was clueless for so long. And what are you now going to tell your new manager rule? I'm indebted for over 70K. And the ruler was crazy. one of the debts that she had was he put a car on lease,
Oh no.
but she doesn't drive.
Oh.
Not that he doesn't. He knows how to drive, but she knows that they don't have a car. So where's the car?
Huh.
So we believe that he took the car to lease and then he drove it out of the country to bring it to his hometown because they were from Europe and gifted it to someone
Yeah. Yeah.
in her name. So there was so much going on, and the way this woman broke down, she couldn't believe it.
Of course, the job
And
is.
it's like the job is now. A funny thing, I asked her, but don't you like the signatures? I mean, all this stuff. What the guy did, he was so smart. He came to the office and said that he doesn't want any letters to go to the house. So what he wants us to call him to come. So the thing is that when you live in one household, of course, he has every right to know about your financial situation, so does she. And then obviously I think she's also signing authority over everything, but obviously she didn't know that it would ever go into the aspect of debt. So he was even faking her signatures and all of that on legal documents.
My goodness.
So she was really clueless. And for me it's like, these are patterns you should have seen.
There were
And then I asked her, but does he work? No, he doesn't work. I said, okay. Has he been working? No, he hasn't been working ever since we've been in a relationship. Okay, so if you know he hasn't been working all these years, why would you let him handle finance? Like, do you get what I'm saying? And why I was laughing when you were saying this is because there was one video of a woman that, mind you, very successful. She's working, I think 2 jobs. And her boyfriend lives with her, but he doesn't work. He doesn't do nothing. She brings the money, her breadwinner, and all of that. Cooks everything. She does the household, everything. So she was pranking him, and she said to him, "Oh my God, I don't know how to pay this month's rent, and also I just got fired." You know what he told her? Can't you just get another job? I'm thinking.
What
Wait.
about you getting a job?
And she said, "What about you can get a job?" Yeah, no. She told him like, "Why? What about you getting a job?" And then he said that, "Yeah, no, you're the one that's working, so you should get a job."
The attitude.
And I was like, "But you guys know the type of men you get into relation. I mean,
Yeah.
what were you expecting?" The fact that you even had to record this means that you knew that you were expecting such a foolish answer.
Yeah.
And why are you still in a relationship? Why are you still in a relationship with him? So sometimes it's not that women don't see the red flags, you just ignore it. I don't know.
I know, sometimes it's also because of what they have gotten accustomed to. They don't even see that it's wrong anymore. Maybe at the beginning, but because they overrode their judgment constantly, it's become like something. They become accustomed to it.
Yeah.
Their brain has been cushioned to it.
Yeah.
So they don't even. It's like, yeah, it is what it is, right?
That's how he is.
And then also sometimes from the household that they are coming from.
Yeah.
If that was the pattern of the mother or the father,
Yeah.
it's like they don't know it any differently, and they don't even see it that it's wrong anymore.
Yeah.
So then they tend to go and take the same thing.
Yes.
And some even we have 2 different people. Some see it, they don't want it, but somehow they still end up taking that same thing. Or becoming it even. And it's so strange. And then they have the one that they don't see it, so they're victim to it, or they see it and they do everything not to become it or not to get into such circumstances.
Which is in the end very bad because, like one of the things that there was a poll that this woman asked on TikTok, and she was like, what was one of the it was like so I'm paraphrasing. She said something like, when did you know that your marriage ended, and when did you actually left? So there was 2 ways: when you knew that it ended, and when did you actually leave?
Yeah.
So I read the comments. It was over thousands of comments, but everyone was telling the same story. I was flabbergasted. Women have a high endurance tolerance, and they have high tolerance and high endurance, because many said, "Oh, my marriage ended the day after my wedding, but I still stayed another 20 years." One said, "My marriage ended actually 5 years into the marriage, but I stayed another 15 years. Many said, "My marriage ended the day of my wedding, but I still stayed another 10 years. If the outcome was already going to be breakup, then why did you, why did you extend it to another 20 years?
And complicated with
And they
children and all
complicate,
that.
yeah. And they said that I still went ahead and still had children with him. I still went ahead and had kids with him, and children with him. And I was like, but if you knew, why would you then bring children into this mess? Some even said that, oh, my marriage, I already know in the relationship that this guy's not for me, but I still ended up marrying him. And this, in the marriage, he even confirmed it more for me that this is not meant to be. But I still stayed another 30 years. All of them stayed longer than, most of them stayed longer than 5 years. But if you knew, why would you do that?
I think some of them is because maybe the length of their relationship, premarital relationship, the length of it, they think they've gone too far.
First.
For me
But
to start, as your friends were saying, do you want to start over again and all that?
I hear it.
And the other one would
But
be...
you still left after 20 years.
And the other ones are also, those that they think that they can't get better than that. The self-value is no longer there.
Yeah.
They've been devalued so much, or allowed themselves to be devalued so much that they don't even know their self-worth anymore. They don't think they can get better out there, or they should be treated better than that.
There's this woman, that one some of us know her, but or with some of us, I mean myself, but she's in a 30 years marriage. Even to this day, she's still in that marriage, and the guy has done nothing for her, nothing for her. And you know what her reason is why she's still in the marriage, and she still stays in the same bed as him after her child has died because of the man. The man's been telling her that he's cheating on her. Like, she knows that he cheats on her. Even worse, if I now say stuff, I'm going to disclose things, but he said something at even her child's funeral that is mind-boggling. Like, looking at other women at his own child's funeral when the child died because of him. Not only that, she went to jail for him. Okay, not only that, after all this, she's still in the marriage as we talk.
But what's the reason?
The reason, no one knows to this day. Oh, no, there's one reason actually. She said because she's the oldest daughter and she doesn't want it to seem like as if her marriage is failing. Do you see what I say? That some of these aunties, I don't know what's in their brain.
So to save face, to fake a role model,
Yeah.
sort of. I don't even know what.
The thing is, at this point, the guy at this point probably has stripped you, has isolated you because he's a narcissist, manipulator, abusive. Like, when I say violence, if this man can go onto his own wife and his children with a knife, we talk about this level of violence. He's never worked a day in their marriage. All for image, all for image and styling. I don't know what it is. Flex, I don't know. So, this is what I'm saying. That, like, African women wear marriage as a badge. But where's the glory? Where's the honor in that? Mind you, I think she works like 3 jobs. 3 jobs. He doesn't work.
To maintain a man that does nothing.
And a pure alcoholic. He has been able to buy lands and houses in Africa. She hasn't done anything for herself. And to this day, they're still married. At this point, let's say, even if you're Christians, yeah, because obviously with Christians, the only way to get out of marriage with a divorce is through, obviously, infidelity.
But he's
he's been telling you that he's been cheating on you.
And it's evident.
He's been telling you that he's been cheating on you.
Yeah.
So it's not that you don't know that he's cheating on you. You know all this. But some women sometimes are so broken to the core that it's like, I don't know if they can even, they're so numb to everything. We're talking about someone who's also lost their child as well.
Yeah.
And they're still in the marriage.
It would take the Lord's deliverance at this point. It would take the Lord himself to deliver someone like that, to send someone who's notorious and can get
Some
them out
women
of them.
literally need deliverance. It's serious. It's really serious. And it's not even like, I mean, after everything that this man has portrayed in front of you and your child and your children, actually, to the point your children be begging you to leave, you still stayed for what?
Serious.
Because of badge of honor that I'm married and I'm the oldest daughter and I don't want to be. And this is an embarrassment to me if I'm a divorcee. Who cares? It's also an embarrassing to be in such a marriage. There's no glory in it. That guy doesn't even, it's not even ashamed to tell, not just you, by the way, to tell the people around you that he's cheating on you. So what's the glory in it? But at the same time, I have a lot of empathy for her because I believe she's so broken that I don't think she doesn't know what to do with herself. That's what someone who has been accustomed to that for the past 30 years.
She's beyond this depression at this point.
It's gone past.
Okay, my lovely ones. This has been a heavy topic, and this is just a few of the stuff that we listed up. There are definitely more signs and warnings out there. I would advise, please do not leave any stone unturned, and make sure that you find someone that you can trust and have confidence in their advice, that they give you, or in their mentorship, that you can really go when you're seeing one or two traces. You can go and tell them that, I'm seeing this. What is your experience around it, and so on. And above all, go to your Heavenly Father and ask Him. He said that, come and I'll show you the hidden and secret things. So go to Him and ask Him, okay, Lord, what am I not seeing? What am I supposed to see? What am I supposed to do with this? And He will definitely open your eyes to many, many stuff that you are supposed to know, and also, look into it more. And He will guide you on what to do with them, so that at the end you can make the right decision and choices for your life. When it comes to marriage, it's a very serious thing, because it's not only you just getting married. Heaven is heavily invested. The future is heavily invested. So you need to get it right. And the devil will do everything in his power to make sure you get it wrong, so that what the plans that the Lord has for you can be destroyed or distorted. So keep your faith up. As our Nigerian people will say, shine your eyes, right? Don't leave any stone unturned, and be focused. And above all, trust the inner witness that the Lord has given you. That was all for today. Stay blessed, and see you or hear from you another time.